What's going on, guys? It's your boy Crypto C's back at it again. DeFi Defenders. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying the content. I have a really juicy upcoming fair launch, or actually, it's not a fair launch. It's a subscription model with Pinkcell. Also, almost forgot to mention, we are doing a free BNB giveaway. So we're going to give away zero point 0.2 BNB, so zero point 0.1 BNB to each of the two best comments on this video. So they must be relevant to this project. You know, don't just skim through the video, actually watch it in depth. And the two top best comments will get 0.1 BNB. In order to qualify, obviously, you need to be a subscriber of the YouTube channel, provide proof, and then also you need to be part of the PulseFI Telegram community, and then you also need to be a part of the DeFi Defender calls community. Both of those will be verified before sending any BNB. Awesome. I hope you guys win, and I hope you guys love the video. If you don't understand what a subscription is with a Pinkcell, it's similar to IFO models. So if you're familiar with IFO, then you already get the gist of what a subscription model is. But essentially, subscription model can be oversubscribed, right? So I believe there's going to be a 100 BNB subscription model, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's 1,000 or 200, not 200, but 1,000 or 2,000 plus BNB into this subscription. Now that doesn't mean it's going to launch with 2,000 BNB. It's only going to launch with 100 BNB total. So I believe the initial market cap is going to be about 120K. That is varying, of course, the price of BNB, etc. But you know, for those who have the additional money and want to make sure that they get a full spot in the subscription, then what they'll do is they're going to put in, you know, maybe 5, 10 BNB, and then the personal hard cap, I believe, is around 2 BNB. That will enable them to get a full spot of 2 BNB. So say they put in 10, they will be refunded 8 BNB, because the maximum amount they're allowed to buy in, I believe, is about 2 BNB. I'll update that if it's different, but as of right now, that's the information I'm going off of. All right, so let's talk about PulseFI, guys. I know the guy who's actually launching this. I don't know him personally. I know of him. I know previous projects. He's in some of the private groups that I'm in, so I do have a level of trust and full transparency. I'm in the private sale, so I was one of the contributors to help get this project started and be able to get it to on Pinkcell and with the Seifu badge and all that good stuff. So safe project here. I believe there's going to be a lot of utility, so let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so it's going to be the first multi-utility token on the Pulse chain. Their stakes, I believe, are sustainable. You know, it's not 1 million or 100,000 or 10,000%, nothing crazy like that. But first off, let's talk about this website. This website is baller. I actually like the website so much that I asked the owner who the website designer was, and I'm in contact with him, and hopefully we'll be utilizing his services sometime in the future. So actually, let's go ahead and click on the pre-sale here. Okay, so I'm sorry, the hard cap is 125 BNB, max per user is 2 BNB. All right, so as you can see, I'm talking with the guy that is the owner, Saud, right now. You guys can see him right here. That is the guy that's running this show. All right, so let's join the next generation in DeFi networks. So what Pulse Finance plans to do once Pulse chain is actually released, which we're bullish on and we called out ourselves, they plan on using an advanced PRC20 staking protocol. They plan on providing high returns and a truly decentralized platform. And the team is going to be pioneering never before seen utilities. So I'm very excited for that. As far as I know, the utilities that I've seen, you know, nothing has been not seen before, maybe done differently. So I'm wondering about those utilities. I'd love to hear more information since I'm in contact with the owner. Hopefully I can get that information to you guys on an update video. So they're going to be ready to migrate to Pulse Chain immediately after it's released. So their plan is to build now and start building the community, launch a project now on the Binance Smart Chain. And then as soon as Pulse Chain is released, immediately they're going to migrate. Okay. So it should be one of the first sustained projects on Pulse Chain. So getting in it now is almost like kind of getting in it for when it launches on Pulse Chain, because you're already in by the time it migrates. Okay. Maximum supply is going to be 100 million. So I do like the fact that it's not a huge, 1 quadrillion or 100 trillion type of token, because then it's realistic to see the actual price hit, into the pennies or dollars. So a lot of these other ones, people will buy billions of tokens and say, hey, well, if I hold these for 10 years, then maybe I'll become a billionaire. And sadly, those tokens are never going to hit into those ranges. All right. So a large portion of projects such as Dogecoin or absurdly aggressive APY tokens promising a 1000x within a year have an ever increasing supply, where they use those minted tokens to pay out rewards to holders. So investors don't realize it's an infinitely growing supply. So it's very similar to the dollar. The dollar, they're talking about inflation, and in the last year or couple years, we've printed more money than that was ever in existence for like the last 50 years, which is crazy. All right. So it results in an infinite downtrend, because the more supply a token gains, the more worth it lessens. Because if something has a market cap of $1 million and it has 1 million coins, each coin is worth $1. 1 million coins times $1 equals its market cap of 1 million. Right now, if they go to 10 million coins, but the market cap is still $1 million, then that means those coins are now worth 10 cents. Okay. And again, he puts it very good here, basic economics, right? Economics, whatever. PulseFI, we aim to redefine the value and scarcity of tokens spanning across every blockchain entirely. So this is achieved by having a fixed supply and no functions that will allow us to mint whatsoever. So I do love that. Let's look at the utility. So our current utilities include a PRC20 compatible token staking, liquidity pool staking protocol, which are available in our own dApp. All right, so our in-house developers are working on producing never before seen utilities as we write this. Utilities that would change the way the world itself views DeFi. So here at DeFi Defenders, guys, this is something that we really look for, something that we're very bullish on, is first to market utilities and things that actually solve problems. Like the reason why you would go to a doctor, the reason why you would hire a lawyer, the reason why you would go to a mechanic. Obviously, if you go to a doctor, you're either sick, ill, or something else, right? If you're hiring a lawyer, then you have legal issues, or you're suing someone, or if your car breaks down, you're going to a mechanic. So each one of those professions actually solves a problem, which is why they'll never go away. And that's what I look for when I look for in utilities, okay? Manufacturer market crypto enthusiasts didn't even realize there was a demand for these utilities. So I'm very excited to hear more about that. So the goal, it's built by investors for investors. Like I said, I know the owner of this project. He's been in several projects. We're in very similar groups. So I do believe he's an investor himself as well. So I do like that. A lot of these project managers, leads, owners, they may invest here and there, but I wouldn't really consider a lot of them investors, because a lot of them will launch token after token after token. And it seems like that's the way that they're, making their money. All right. So I do like the goal here is their aim is to aid in the fulfillment of missing essential pieces required for the adoption of Pulsechain. And here you can go ahead and click and join the Telegram, which I'm also in as well. So you guys can leave me a nice message at CryptoSeas. Tokenomics is 8% buy, sell percent is 8%. So that's a total of 16% in and out. So if you were to buy $100, then you're going to be taxed 8%. So you'll effectively buy about $92. $92 out of your 100 will be invested into the token. And then let's say you sold at $1,000. When you sell at $1,000, you'll be taxed 8%, which 8% of $1,000 is 80. So then you would make 920. Okay. All right. So here you have it broken down. The actual tokens, what they're going for: 24% to staking, 24% to public round, 17% initial LP, 12% to operations, 9% sex listings, 8% private raise, which I'm a part of that 8%, 6% to team. All right. The actual tokenomics that are broken down for tax, 2% of the 8% is going to go towards liquidity. So that's going to help increase the liquidity pool over time, especially the buys and sells. The more volume there is, then that means that the liquidity pool is going to raise over time. 2% to marketing. So again, on buys and sells, you're going to see a percentage go to marketing, which is going to help further push the name of PulseFI out there and hopefully, you know, bring additional holders and investors, which will increase the market cap, effectively making your investment more valuable. 2% staking pool. So I do like this. 2% of the actual taxes going towards the staking pool, while 1.5% is to development. So that's going to help develop product. That's going to go towards, I'm assuming, paying some of these in-house developers for coding, for any sort of development they might need for the project. And then there's a 0.5% burn. 0.5% burn. So that means over time, that the supply is actually going to decrease. So again, I know we talked about inflation, which is the increase of the amount of tokens in circulation. So this is actually the opposite. So on every buy and sell, a 0.5% is going to be burned. So effectively 1% is going to be burned on a buy, you know, someone that buys in and then eventually sells. So 1% total on buy, you know, obviously when someone buys is 0.5%, when someone sells is 0.5% equaling 1%. So over time, you're going to see this 100 million, you're going to see this 100 million tokens decrease in supply, which means that it's going to effectively increase the amount of each token, because now it's going to get scarce over time. Okay. So let's go ahead and click into the white paper. We'll see here, this is V1.1, August 2022. I like the sound as well. It's definitely professionally done. Again, the guy who did the website, I'm assuming might have done this white paper as well. I can ask him. So you guys can go ahead and read the synopsis, the introduction. For the sake of the video, I'm not going to go through everything. But trade of values, so they're holding community, transparency, and longevity, right? So these values are huge in this space. Community obviously is a very big factor in tokens that do very well, projects that do very well. Transparency is very slim to none in this space. Of course, you know, blockchain is a public ledger, so you can see every transaction that happens, but as far as what's going on, what's being paid for, marketing, development, etc., it means they're going to keep us informed and keep everything transparent. And longevity, a lot of these tokens and projects, like I said, they're launching every week, sometimes multiple times in a week, definitely multiple times in a month. This is looking to be a long-term project, guys, and these are the type of projects that we like to look for. All right, so token staking, if you look here, if you do 1 month, it looks like it's going to be a APY of 20%. If you early withdraw, it's going to be a 5% penalty. 6 months will be 35% with an 8% penalty if you decide to remove early. And then there's 45% for 6 months and a 10% penalty. 1 year will be up to 70%, and an early term penalty will be 14%. So technically, you could stake for a long period of time. If for some reason price increases drastically and you're like, hey, you know what, that 14% penalty is kind of worth taking, you have that ability. So a lot of these staking protocols will actually not allow you to take out your tokens even for a penalty. So this is a good way of doing it, because then that'll increase, I'm assuming that penalty will go back into staking. I'm not sure. That's a question that I can ask to the developer, and I can provide an update on the next video. Liquidity pool staking. So this is one of the higher rates of staking, and I think one of the safer ways of staking, because you're pairing it with BNB. So what you're going to do is half of your, let's say you want to pair up, let's just say, I don't know, we don't know a price of the token yet, but let's just say you have 100,000 tokens, and that is equal to what is BNB? Just about $300. So we'll say that's worth $300. And one BNB is worth 300. So you're going to take the same amount of what the token is equal to in BNB and pair it up. So effectively $300 in the native token, which is PulseFi, and then $300 worth of BNB. You're going to smack it together like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you're providing liquidity pool tokens. Liquidity pool tokens allow people to buy and sell. So the higher the LP, the easier it is to buy and sell, and also provides stability for the project. When the LP is low, you're going to see volatile movements. You could see, projects that take off, but have very little LP. But the same thing can happen is it can crash and burn because that's very little LP and people are pulling out. All right, there is no early withdrawal penalty for those staking LP tokens, so maybe something you want to consider because it has 120% APY. Roadmap. So right now we're pretty much right around here, phase 2. We're close to Pancake Swap listing, obviously after the pre-sale. The release of Utility 1 and 2. Again, very excited to see that. The first marketing push, competitions, giveaways. Then phase 3, we're looking at CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko listings, professional marketing, campaigns, Twitter, PRs, AMAs, and more. Development of Utility 3. So it looks like these guys really have some stuff they're holding up their sleeves, and that's something that I like, especially someone that is, not a newbie, to this market. So I know that I have a lot of use cases that I want to bring to market. I just haven't quite got there yet. I'm not releasing a project or anything at this moment, but in the near future, I do have some utilities that I think that would help the market because I've been in this market and I've vetted, thousands of teams and projects. So kudos to them. They have some utilities. They want to be first to market, so they're not going to release it now if obviously they don't have anything in development or, relatively close, because people just copycat. Phase 4, continuation of marketing, release of Utility 3, the first sex listing, development of Utility 4. So again, this is showing a trend that they are going to continue developing utility, it looks like. Website and Whitepaper V2. So I don't know what the V2 version of this website is going to look like because it looks awesome. All right. And then to be continued. So they're going to publish a new updated roadmap at some point as well. We've already gone over token distribution and also the buy and sell tax. Again, you guys can read all this information. Make sure you read their legal investment disclaimer. Anything we post on this channel is never financial advice. We always recommend you do your own research. So check the description. We will definitely make sure that the link to the website and their Telegram will be there. So that way you guys can conduct your own research. All right. So PulseFI is the future. So migration, again, is going to be done to Pulsechain immediately after the mainnet release, and it's going to be a 1-to-1, so it's going to be simple. If you owned 100,000 on the BSC side, you're going to own 100,000 on the Pulsechain side. There's going to be a 1% max wallet, max transaction, so they can trade without the fear of whales dumping on them. So that means only you can only hold 1% of the total supply. So I believe that is, if it's 100 million, then that means you can hold 1 million tokens at maximum, and that's also the max transaction. No inflationary mechanisms. It's open source, verified. There's no crazy high taxes. Some people, may say that 8 in and 8 out is high because it's 16%. But we've definitely seen 30% plus projects do really well. All right, and limited supply, again, it's never going to increase. 2% of all volume traded will be automatically added to the liquidity, like I said, to ensure stability in the price action. And that's on in and out. So if someone that's buying is taxed 2% going into auto liquidity, and then when they sell, 2% to auto liquidity. The finance plan, we just went over this in the white paper. If you have any questions, you can come down here and go to the FAQ. Any related projects you can see here is Pulsechain, which is the actual blockchain it's going to release on. PulseX, which you guys know that we have called out. PulseFI, which is their project. And then Hex, which was the starter of it all, which is from the creator of Pulsechain. So if you want to be part of the Pulse Finance movement, you can go ahead and join the community. And that's pretty much it, guys. You can click on any other links, do some more research. I'm going to take you to the community real quick. All right, awesome. So you guys can see in here, there's 813 members. So still relatively new. You can check through the pinned numbers. You can see here they got their audit. And then they also got their Seifu certificate with Pink Cell. So that means that that contract should be considered safe. There's no honeypot function and things like that that could happen. We got a few calls here, just some introductory stuff. So make sure you guys join the Telegram, join the community. If you guys are interested in this product, say what's up at me. Say DeFi Defender sent you. Other than that, guys, we're good to go. Make sure you guys leave a like, a comment. Let me know what your favorite thing about this project is. If you're super bullish on this, let us know. And we look forward to seeing you on the inside.